If you hear me say nothing else, hear this. No job, no career, no business, no dream, no relationship or fear is worth forgetting how precious your life is. And if you feel like it is, know that the fear of change is temporary. You are loved and you don't have to do this life alone.
Welcome to Overwhelmed and Over It, the podcast where founders come to drop the hustle culture BS and learn how to actually enjoy building their business. I'm your host, Gabs, and I believe your success as a founder shouldn't come at the cost of your sanity. Each week, we bring you real, unfiltered conversation with founders who are figuring it out just like you are. No sugarcoating, no highlight reels, just honest stories and actionable lessons that help you navigate your founder journey with more clarity and confidence. Whether you're building your first company or scaling your fifth, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. I am sweating on the coldest day in Arizona so far as I record this episode. I'm going to start this episode with a trigger warning around mental health and suicide. I will also provide resources in the links should you need those. And if you're going through anything that resonates with those two statements, please know my heart is always open for you. My DMs are always open for you, and I'm sending you big, big hugs. All right. I've got some life changes going on, and I think it's time that we talk about them. I'm going to tell you something that's happening in my entrepreneurial journey that I honestly think happens to more entrepreneurs than we know, but also that I believe many entrepreneurs don't talk about, because as a founder, as an entrepreneur, admitting that something hasn't worked out is really, really hard. I don't know why it's so hard for us, but it is. So the reality is, I have been so focused on not becoming a statistic that I made myself miserable instead. And to be honest, this is a pattern that has appeared too many times in my life. But when it surfaced in my entrepreneurial journey, it nearly cost me mine. I have been trying to find the words to share this for over a month. And after several direct nudges from the universe, I'm finally ready. And I want you to know that this is the vulnerable truth that I would share with you if you told me that you wanted to make a change in your entrepreneurial journey, but you were scared to take that first step. Last month, I shut down my consulting business. I am gutted. I am relieved. And I am really, really proud. I'm proud of what happened in that business. And then I'm also proud that I finally leaned in and shut it down. Because I didn't want to be another startup that failed before year 5, like all the statistics say. So I just kept pushing so that I could get past that milestone. I didn't want to be a female founder who couldn't reach 7 figures, so I clawed my way there. And thank you, Alex of the Get Shit Done community, for our fuck 4% rule, because at least I'm not part of that. But also, God, was it hard to get there. And I didn't want to be a failure. So many times we talk about who we are as a person and what our identity is. And I will be really, really honest that entrepreneurship is a part of my identity and one that I'm not ready to let go of. And that's okay. But because I didn't want to fail at this, I nearly failed the people who matter most, which is my true life partner and my children. Deep down, I knew that this needed to happen for at least a year before I acted on it. And the reality is I regret waiting so long. I clung to a successful business that was built on an identity I was no longer. The energy that business was built from and the energy that I am currently living in are drastically different. And that's something that a pivot cannot fix. Trust me, I tried. When I launched my consulting firm, I was working full-time as a digital product consultant. And then I started picking up product consulting gigs on the side and eventually was able to replace my full-time income. All the stories. Retire my husband, travel the world with my family. I had all of the quote unquote freedoms, but I didn't have intentionality. I launched that business just because I could, because I was good at it, and because I was making money. And I did for a couple years until I really started to realize as I was going through my own self-identification and healing journey that while I can do it and I'm good at it, it's not what I want to be doing. It's not what I envision for the rest of my future. So I would walk away. I would go do something else. And that consulting firm pivoted from product consulting to healthcare consulting to career coaching to operations coaching. I mean, it had so many pivots because I was scared of letting go and I was scared of being a failure. So I held on far longer than I think I should have. But I took that on as my own failure. I allowed holding on to something, a business that was successful by everyone else's definitions besides my own. And I allowed it to beat me up so badly that my suicidal thoughts that I've had since I was a child came ramping up, heavier, faster, harder than they ever have in my life. And just as we crossed the bridge preparing for 2025, in a time where I thought new year, new energy, 2024 was the hardest fucking year of my life, and I just was so excited for the new year. This failure that I was holding on to got a hold of me. And I now have to live every day when I walk up the stairs in my house to the specific stair where my husband picked me up with a guttural plea screaming, "Please understand how loved you are. Please understand how much more life is still out there. But please understand that none of these quote unquote failures are you as a person." And I say a lot of things on LinkedIn and on this podcast, but this will always be the most important thing. So if you hear me say nothing else, hear this. No job, no career, no business, no dream, no relationship or fear is worth forgetting how precious your life is. And if you feel like it is, know that the fear of change is temporary. You are loved and you don't have to do this life alone. So for many of you listening to this, you're wondering, what does that mean? You follow me for advice on being an entrepreneur, and I just told you I shut my business down. What does that mean now? So I am closing my consulting firm. Many of you just knew it as my work. Some of you knew it as Sequence Partners Consulting. I do still have a few current clients that I am finishing up my commitments with, and then I will selectively subcontract on projects that I want to work on through my network of other trusted consulting firm owners. But I also had a second business that I've had for several years that I have not been building alone, that I'm fully embracing and fully leaning into. The Brave Start. All of this has made it really clear what my purpose is in life. And my purpose is to help others take that first step, even when it's scary. And I, without a shadow of a doubt, believe entrepreneurship is the path to actually building success on your own terms, building a life on your own terms, and loving every fucking moment of it. Building alone was never the goal for me. When I look at the big, big dreams and what I want things to become in the end, it's always been doing it with someone, building a company where we support other people in their journey, whether that is through entrepreneurship goals or through actual employees. And now I'm going to be doing that every day with my partner, Jackie.
And the podcast is continuing. Season 2 is getting ready to come out. And it will have incredible founders where we're diving even deeper into honest conversations about this entrepreneurial journey because this shit is hard. And I'm not going to sit here and act like it isn't. And if you're an entrepreneur with mental health challenges, this shit's even harder. And you know what? My hope is that you come to this podcast when you truly are overwhelmed and over it. When you just need someone in your ear while you're walking, while you're doing the dishes, while you're writing another freaking email that you don't want to write. My hope is that you come here to have myself and other entrepreneurs and other founders share their story and encourage you along the way. With that, if you are an entrepreneur or founder and you want to share your story to help others do the same, I do still have a few spots open for season 2. Feel free to send me a DM on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to get that scheduled. And finally, this has been the biggest realization is that I used to always think I was going to heal from my mental health. The reality is my mental health isn't going anywhere. It may be better for seasons. It may be better for certain days, but it needs management full time. This is my story, and this will be a part of me moving forward. While closing down a business that was literally built on my blood, sweat, and tears, that at times I feel like stole years away from me as a spouse and as a mother, it also did a lot of things for me. It helped me understand that I can do whatever the hell it is I put my mind to. And I want you to know the same. You can start a business and you can stop it. You can have a co-founder and then you can exit. You can start a business, then you can sell it. You can start a business and then never look at it again. But that's the beauty of entrepreneurship is you call the shots. And I hope that on your hardest days, you know that there are people out here who love you, that life is worth living, and that death is supposed to be a celebration of everything you've done in that hyphen between your birth date and your death date. And if you don't feel like that hyphen is complete, keep showing up. I love you so big. I love you for supporting me. I love you for being a part of my hyphen. And I love you for letting me be honest. That's all for this week's episode of Overwhelmed and Over It. I know being a founder can feel lonely, but you don't have to figure it all out by yourself. If you're craving real talk with other entrepreneurs who get exactly what you're going through, join us in the Brave Starts monthly Q&A circle. It's our judgment-free zone where no question is too basic, too messy, because trust me, we've all been there. You can grab your free spot at thebravestart.com. And please make sure we're connected on LinkedIn. I share daily reminders that the entrepreneurship roller coaster is totally normal. You're not the only one feeling overwhelmed sometimes. I'm your host, Gabs, and until next week, remember, building a business is hard enough. Let's not make it harder by doing it alone. I'll catch you in the next episode.